The Droid You Are Looking For Canada presents the video game Vault.
Vault. Game Vault. Episode 5. Welcome back to the Droids You're Looking For Game Vault. If you couldn't tell, we are reviewing a classic Goldeneye64. A shooter that has done absolutely everything right, including, as far as I can remember, one of the last couch co-op shooters there was, and that stopped camping. And why? Because your buddy camped your ass, you knocked his ass out and left him for dead next to you. And I think I actually left Todd speechless on that one.
Losers whine about their best. Winners go home and fuck the prom queen. Really, that's really what happens. Goldeneye was the innovator. I'm sorry, Brian. The innovator of Call of Duty. It created Call of Duty. It was the love child that N64 created and spurned off multiple shooters.
I can speak for myself, and I'm sure a vast majority of our listeners as well who can say the only reason we bought a 64 was for GoldenEye.
GoldenEye was a game that was built with the proper equations. And it was not only was it built properly, it was fun, and it's still incorporated in the storyline from the actual movie. So it was great playing GoldenEye. But I was a different...
GoldenEye's a movie?
It was the only Pierce Brosnan James Bond film that I thought was good. Every other one was shit. And this game was remade years later, which Brian bought me the video game for, GoldenEye Reloaded, which they removed Pierce Brosnan and put Daniel Craig in as the Bond, which he is the current Bond right now. So let's get down to the nitty-gritty about GoldenEye. GoldenEye is a masterpiece. Anyone who hears this podcast is already standing and is already clapping. They all agree that GoldenEye was the perfect equation of single player and multiplayer. Before this camping shit, to Brian's point, before all this fucking unrealistic bullshit. And the best part?
Oddjob.
Well, Oddjob was the cheat. You gotta have a game that has a cheat. But GoldenEye was the one that lets you play against 3 other people at the same time. And of course, if you're like me, when I would...
And can you imagine that on your 60-inch screen now?
Oh my god, that'd be sexy.
It'd be like us playing back in the day and each having our own TV screen.
Yeah, especially since, back in the heyday, I had, a 27-inch was the standardized size TV, and you had all your friends huddled together. I don't know if I used to hang out with a guy named Jason Mitchiner. We used to watch it on his TV. Mark, shut up. Because he's making the joke right now, too. But we used to play on this small little 27-inch TV, and it was 4 of us playing this N64. I still have my copy of GoldenEye somewhere. It's in here, but I don't have this N64, so that's the problem I'm having now. But there's been multiple James Bond games that came out after this.
That all flopped.
They all flopped. They weren't able to get back to the roots of this game. They even made one, I think it was called Golden Gun. There was something to that effect, which followed the same type of design, but the problem with the game was that it wasn't as much. It wasn't even James Bond. It was just something they spurred off of it.
Now, if they want to make this game successful, what I suggest, take the game, throw it in a new graphics engine, pump it out there.
They did.
That's all you need to do. Update the graphics of this game, and you'll have another billion-dollar game.
See, this is before the internet was even really in existence when this game came out. So you didn't, and this is going to be a different podcast conversation, but this is where I come back down to the etiquette of online play. This game reinforced that you cannot be a jackass because your buddy, as you just said yourself, you fucking bitch slap him. You're like, laughing at you, like, psh, what do you think about that? This game also introduced different type of multiplayer. The Golden Gun. How do you forget about the Golden Gun? One-shot kill. It fucking sucked every single time.
Hide, motherfucker.
Mines. Don't forget about the mines.
I loved the proximity mines. Wasn't it the first level where you can throw a mine down and kill the guy on the shitter?
Oh, God. Like, it was ridiculous, the amount of things you could do into this game. And the replay value was through the roof. See, me and Brian are 2 different type of shooters, if you want to call it that. Brian is a typical guy to run in and shoot everything and probably kill in the process.
Run and gun.
Run and gun. I'm the typical guy to stay back with a sniper rifle and just pepper.
And that's why we make great team in Army 2.
That's right, and that's why Brian survives all the time. I save his ass. There has been occasions...
That silence is me agreeing with him.
It's sad, but it is true. There's been many occasions. What are you doing?
Dude, where are you? Get your ass over here and revive me!
I'm taking out a platoon right now, but if you leave your name and number, I'll get back to you. But with Goldeneye, it spurned off other games as well. Perfect Dark, as an example. If you played Perfect Dark on the N64, it literally was Goldeneye, but as a female special agent, if you want to call it that. But then...
It had its flaws.
It has its flaws. And then it had the You Only Live Twice series, which was horrible. And they spurned up all these different shooter games because they all basically took what GoldenEye did and made it their own. The problem with it is that they couldn't get back to it. They couldn't make it the way it was. And see, when they made GoldenEye Reloaded, they did something, I'm not sure if you knew this, in GoldenEye Reloaded, is that they put, you can put a certain restriction in the game so you can't camp. They called it one step. If you stopped moving, boom, you would blow up. See, that should be in all the game types. Because I tell you, and this is why, and Rick, who's also admin on our page, will sometimes sit down and play Call of Duty Ghost Ops. Whatever it's called, I don't even call it. What is it called?
Ghosts.
Ghosts, thank you. And we actually ran a couple of death matches in that, and it's just so frustrating because they will camp the shit out of you and they will wait for you to respawn. You can't do that in GoldenEye because you gotta keep running in GoldenEye, and the maps were huge. Wasn't there one that was like the crypts when you're in like you kept going down to like a basement and shit like that? The only reason why I remember it, there was like a hallway with different columns in it, and there was when I was playing with my one friend Jeremy, he used to launch freaking bazookas down there. It was ridiculous. And here's the part: he flushed you out with the bazooka because he already left the proximity mines at the other end of the hall. So you were fucked from the moment you went down there. It was ridiculous. Yeah, that was my childhood, playing James Bond, 007 GoldenEye, while blaring Aqua in the background.
Aqua.
That's right. That's how great it was. Hey, it came back out in '97. I was what? Was it came out?
We were just in high school.
Yeah. And believe it or not, and this is, I'm going to say this, knock on wood, one of the only movie to video game adaptations that was correct.
Yeah. I will say
that hurts to say, but it really is true. They bang on. Absolutely bang on. So then, let's go to the big part of this game. Should we own this game? The answer is automatically yes.
No. Just because I want to be difficult. But secretly, yeah, everyone should own this game. If you haven't owned it, find it online, play it, you will enjoy it.
This game was this is during the time that Nintendo was thriving, right? Nintendo at that point already popped out Super Mario 64, which, you know what, fuck all of you, that game sucked. We all bought it because we all thought it was a platformer, and then we bought it and went, shit, it's not a platformer.
You know what, it wasn't great, but I did enjoy that game.
But then you were stuck behind Mario Kart 64, which we covered in previous podcasts, but that's not completely understandable. But it came in number 3 and sold 250 million copies. So this makes you ask the integrity of Nintendo. If they stuck to their game plan, like, they could have made so much money, even if they would have popped this out. So I'm hoping when Nintendo does go under, and that's a huge does, because we all know what's going to happen,
yeah.
I hope PlayStation buys this and puts this on the network. I would pay $20 to play this game again, but N64.
Yes. Not the Reloaded.
Not the Reloaded, the original one. That would be fun. Any questions, comments, concerns, bro? You got anything for this huge rant?
No, it was well done. I thoroughly enjoyed the game. There is no huge rant, but I think we should wrap this podcast. And you know why?
Why?
Because we need some chimichangas.
We do.
Game over, man. It's game over.
Thanks for listening to the Droids We're Looking For podcast. Stay tuned for next week's podcast.
Remember, the Force will be with you always.